Hello, everybody. This one is for Kush Clark Kent. He's one of my top commenters and subscribers. Go show him some love on his channel. He's doing a really good job with his channels, and he could use some more support as well. But the reason for this video is because I'm going to use the Tennessee Titans against the G-name Dallas Cowboys team. And not everybody had G-name first name, so that's why. But I'm going to go over this list and then we'll get into the game. It's going to be on Super Bowl mode for Titans versus Cowboys. Okay, first player is Jordan Gross. He didn't have a G first name. Another G name for last name, Ben Grubbs. Third player is Frank Gore. He didn't have a G name first name as well. Fourth player is Andre Garodi. He didn't have a G name first name, and he stayed on the Cowboys here because he has a G name. Fifth player is Greg Jennings. Sixth player is Gary Brackett. Seventh player is Gerald Hayes. Eighth player is Gerald McCoy. Ninth player is Greg Olsen. Now he's currently an analyst, so time flies so much. 10th player is the punter Ben Graham. He didn't have a G first name. Another person that didn't have a G name first name is Cedric Griffin. 12th player is Gerald Senisball, or I don't know how to say the last name. 13th player, another player that didn't have a G name first name, Dashawn Goldson. 14th player is a player from my team, the Colts. He didn't have a G name first name, but Pierre Garcon. 15th player, he went to school at a Texas college, and he's back here in Texas, Roberto Garza. I was going to say that. And he didn't have a G name first name. 16th player is the quarterback, the starting quarterback, David Garrard. He didn't have a G name first name. 17th player is Geno Hayes. 18th player is Glenn Dorsey. 19th player is Glover Quinn Jr. 20th player is another player from my team. He didn't have a G name first name as well, Anthony Gonzalez. 21st player is another player that didn't have a G name first name, John Greco. 22nd player is Gary Guyton. 23rd player is Golden Tate. 24th player is Gregory Toller. 25th player is Gerald Alexander. 26th player is Godster Shirlise. 27th player is Jibril Wilson. 28th player is Gerald McGrath. 29th player is Guy Wimper. 30th player is George Wilson. 31st player is Glenn Coffey. 32nd player is another player who didn't have a G name first name, Chris Gokong. 33rd player is Gary Barnage. 34th player is another player who didn't have a G name first name, Thaddeus Gibson. 35th player is another player from my team, the Colts, but he has a G name first name, John Robinson. And this was a trade for Dion Anderson. 36th player, Gabe Watson. 37th player is Garrett Mills. 30th player is George Selvey. 39th player is another player from my team, the Indianapolis Colts, but he doesn't have a G name first name, Sam Gigor. 40th player is Tyrone Green, another player with a G name that didn't have a G name first name. 41st player is Greg Lewis. 42nd player is another player that didn't have a G name first name, Andrew Gardner. 43rd player is Greg Hardy. 44th player is another player that didn't have a G name first name, one of the quarterbacks, Rex Grossman. 45th player is another player that didn't have a G name first name, Jonathan Goff. 46th player, Garrett Reynolds. 47th player is Gary Williams. 48th player, Gerald Lawson. 49th player is a double G name, Graham Gano. 50th player is the third string quarterback, another player that didn't have a G name first name, Matt Gutierrez. 51st player is another player that didn't have a G name first name, and he's one of the players that stayed on the Cowboys, Cletus Gordon. 52nd player is Clifton Gathers, a Another player that didn't have a G name first name. 53rd player is another player from my team, the Colts, and another player that didn't have a G name first name, Cody Glenn. And that's all. So, without further ado, let's finally get into the game. Let's hope for a good game, Kush Clark Kent. Titans, Cowboys. So this is the main reason why I'm using the Titans, because I do like a lot of teams, and this is only the second time I've used a G name team. And the first one, Titans versus Cowboys, by the way, the first time it was a G name Titans team for my subscriber Kush Clark Kent. So that's why I'm using the Titans here. See if they can win this time, because the Titans didn't win in that video. And I used the Rams for the away team there. Vince Young versus David Garrard. And these two quarterbacks, they're rivals in the AFC South. Vince Young for the Titans and David Garrard for the Cowboys. And the reason why David Garrard is on there, there was not enough players for a quarterback with G name first names. The receiver and cornerback. So I'll provide you and everybody else with the results at the end.